Assalamu alaikum, dear listeners. In this episode of The Answering, we shall expose the idolatrous Buddhism and prepare for our posthumous reward of Jannah. Maybe not really, but let's have my man Umar here promulgate the truth of Allah.
I reverted to Islam 2 months ago, and it changed my life. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Convert, not revert. So to make this less one-sided, I reverted from Christianity some 15 years ago, and it somehow changed my life for the better. I reverted to a person not encumbered with a specific religious ideology, though I do look favorably upon many aspects of Buddhism, in case you've not noticed.
I'm Umar. I'm a reverted Muslim. Alhamdulillah.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa.
I'm a Chinese. I born and raised in Hong Kong, and I came from a Chinese Buddhism family.
How do you do? I am a Ukrainian primate.
When I was a kid, my mom and dad used to pray to Buddha. So I have no idea who is Buddha, why I have to do this, and when I try to ask, so usually my parents would just ask me to shut up, don't ask, just do your thing, and then I have no chance to get my answer.
I feel sorry for your past plight. My parents would not force observance of religious rites on me, let alone while concealing basic information about their beliefs from me. Ignorance was never a virtue in my family. But back to you. So you came from a Buddhist family which did not care to explain Buddhism to you. That is not a very good start of your reversal journey, as we shall see soon. Secondly, praying to Buddha? Really, it makes no sense to pray to Buddha, as Buddha is not a god which metes out blessings. Buddha is an ascetic teacher who, according to Buddhism, realized the nature of our temporal phenomena, the bondage of craving, its attendant suffering, and the way of freeing yourself from it. And I do know that certain traditions suggest that laymen appeal to benevolent beings to guide them toward the path of realization, or, quite absurdly, in the overall context of Buddhism, to bestow worldly things onto them. Let me put my Buddhism moralist bald spot and denounce that practice. Yes, dear Pure Land practitioners, I mean it.
Nothing fails like prayer. Nothing fails like prayer. Use your mind and you will find that nothing fails like prayer.
And also, when I was a little kid, I already have this kind of questions. Why am I here? What is my purpose? But no one can answer me.
I know it's a bit too late, but you could have maybe read something or talked to your local Buddhist monk. I guess doing basic research is too much to ask from a person seeking answers.
And also, my mom and dad divorced when I was 8. I have a pretty tough childhood. Lucky enough, alhamdulillah, when I was 21 years old, I met a friend. He is born Muslim, and at that time, I'm not so sure what is Islam and Muslim. I thought they were just terrorists.
Oh my. Basically, the thread running through this whole life story is how being uninformed, not wanting to make effort to inform oneself and being vulnerable leads one right into a friendly zealot's embrace. Now you get stuffed with a prepackaged religious deal, and for a while you feel comfortably numb. Before this point I took this in a more or less serious way, but now I am not sure if Umar is making fun of the listener. The narrative logic defies reality. Perhaps that is what makes one a true believer. Underpinnings of life-changing, miraculous conversions laid bare.
And then he was trying to explain to me there is no God, but only one true God, and we should only obey to that one true God. And then I was like, it makes sense, because in Buddhism we have so many different idols to worship. It makes more sense to me.
There are no idols to worship in Buddhism. I am appalled at the level of your awareness of Buddhism. Though I am being somewhat rude, I am simply using your story as a prop for my, I dare say, slightly more amusing ramblings. So this was not a personal attack, just an observation. Back to the topic. The thing is, actually, this is also pretty much the common Christian level of awareness of their religion, and I probably won't err in my judgment if this superfluous formal adherence is characteristic on average, I stress this point, of every person born into any religion. Orthodox Christians worship their saints and relics and don't really care what's the New and what's the Old Testament. And the Buddhists of China, I suppose, worship their Buddhist-sized local deities or pray to the endless Mahayana array of enlightened and semi-enlightened entities with little to no regard for the main point of Buddhism.
I didn't become a Muslim immediately because at that time I was still young. I was chasing a lot of things like monies, like girls, or a lot of distractions. So I wasn't really paying attention to becoming a Muslim.
Mayhap you should have read more on different religions.
Until I got my heart broken. My girlfriend broke up with me. We were together for 6 years. I was planning to marry her to build a lovely family. I was really depressed and lost and sad. Alhamdulillah, I know this is one of God's plan.
No, this is life. And Buddhism would have actually helped you cope with your distress quite well if indeed you had needed religion.
Because if this relationship didn't end, I will never find Islam. And then at that time, I was trying to find my answer, try to find my purpose of life again. So I start to read the Quran, I start to study the Quran.
Why have you not read Buddhist scriptures? It is blatantly obvious you haven't.
Islam is the way of living. It's everything. Islam is the truth. I learn every single day. I still making some mistakes, but I making my progress.
Glad you're more content with your life now. If you were drowning, you held onto a straw which was there and made it to the surface back from the depth of depression. As for your religion, Islam offers an overarching dogma which shapes your life in accordance with a set of strict guidelines and beliefs. It's one of those conceptual systems which by design aim to preclude you from re-evaluating it, a dead end.
And also, I feel so regret about this. This is a sin. So now, Alhamdulillah, so this is like a reminder of me. I'm a sinner. So every day I would just ask God for forgiveness.
So you're a sinner because of a random tattoo. And now you've gone full circle to pray to some entity with a little twist. You've become a sinner and need forgiveness. This is the self-deprecating whirlpool of conceptual systems maintaining that one must strive to please an external entity with one's livelihood.
And also I pray to try to ask God to make me a better person every single day.
Become one. As lazy as you were seeking for truth and information, so you're lazy in working on yourself. Buddhism indeed would have been a bit too taxing on you with this attitude.
I really hope more people can understand more about Islam, because I really think if everybody can become a Muslim, the world can become a beautiful place. So, and also my goal is to try to help more people to understand eventually and come back to Islam so everybody can go to Jannah.
Thank you, not interested. But let me give a recommendation of my own. To become a better person, do not let yourself be trapped by systems of thought which bind you by the fear of consequences for re-evaluating your adherence to them. Like a drug, they might give you an initial boost, but you'll have to stay high constantly, and if the supply of fresh meanings gets low, go on to sell the stuff to other impressionable or downtrodden people. Overall, I do not really mind people practicing whatever creed as long as it makes them happy, and they do not revert to the barbaric forceful imposition of their lifestyle on others. So, you do you, Umar, and thanks for the material.
Alhamdulillah.